Today is the day. I finally find out if this little idea in my head could really be worth something. Can I convince seasoned pros to buy into my startup idea? I'm a huge fan of Shark Tank, so I'm really excited to give this a shot. Yeah. In the last episode, I came up with an idea to see if I can be Singapore's next unicorn. I did the work, now let's see what it's worth. But first, let me introduce the Sharks. First up, Anthony Cheow, founder of Igloo Home, who's raised 44 million Singapore dollars from investors including Singtel Innovate, Seeds Capital and EDBI. Next up, we have Lynette Lee. She is Venture Lead Standard Chartered Ventures and a mentor to SMU's signature incubator program, BIG. And finally, Henry Lim, who is the Executive Director at Ants Capital. His areas of expertise include fundraising and IPO advisory. Good afternoon, judges. I'm Sue-Ann, and I'm here today to bring you Hubble. We live in a social media generation, and wanting to be an influencer, content creator, or entrepreneur is a very highly coveted occupation. And yet, there is so little support for it. In this day and age, trying to find graphic designers, video editors, or people to help you with finance is not only expensive, it is inaccessible. And on the flip side, so many creatives are out there, especially young creatives, looking to get their first break into the industry. Where do they even start? And that is where Hubble comes in. The best way I'll describe Hubble in just one simple line is a one-stop shop for creators and creatives to get started in the social media world. Think of it as building your dream team, but with all the expensive legwork, administrative work cut out, all done simply on one platform.
Sue-Ann, as the presenter of the pitch, did an excellent job. Her body presentation, her vocal, the clarity of how she articulated the proposition was very, very clear. So if I look at her as a founder of any other proposition, she is a strong founder that potentially has resilience.
She really was very passionate about what she wanted to pitch to the judges. She did not show that she was nervous. She stood in front and started a 3 to 4 minutes pitch. So I think that's great. It shows that she's very prepared. She understands the problem that she's trying to solve, and she's very passionate about the product that she's trying to create.
In Singapore alone, there are 5.13 million user identities across the social media platforms, and each individual uses 6.9 different platforms in a given month. On the flip side, if you look at the creatives, there are over 200,000 creative freelancers in Singapore and approximately 2,500 art graduates every year. The value of the freelance market is about $400 million and is looking to also expand exponentially. Initially, we're looking to introduce a free trial so that creators and creatives can try out the platform for themselves. So for that first month, no subscription costs. Our initial acquisition strategy will include both paid and unpaid strategies. We'll work with current prominent creators on various channels including YouTube, Instagram and TikTok to get them to showcase our product. Now, pricing and revenue. So how we're going to make money? First is a subscription model for the platform services. Now, by becoming a one-stop shop, what we foresee is that our business will be able to keep our users within our ecosystem. If you can find everything here in the easiest and probably most affordable way, why would you go anywhere else?
Do you have a demo of the product that you can share with us?
I don't have a demo, but I do have a kind of a visual landing page style. Okay. So I can explain how it will work, but we don't have an interactive demo at the moment. So this is...
She's a good presenter, but however, for the entire pitch, she didn't address a lot of things. You're creating these so-called software or apps. Throughout your deck, we have not seen any person in your team that's of a CTO kind. When this thing, there's a bug, you need to constantly fix that to give the user a good experience.
Your first tier is to help users who come onto the platform to understand what they need. And the second part is to aggregate between the service provider and the services that people want and match them together on a singular platform.
Correct.
So it's a pure platform play business itself. When I look at your market size, When you look at the US market, social media users, I'm a little bit confused right here. Because where does the social media users sit in terms of the users that we are talking about? The value of the influencer market, is it in Singapore or is it overall? Because it looks a little bit large for the Singapore market. And the second part, you're talking about $15 and $20 itself on a monthly subscription basis.
Yes.
It's actually very, very low.
We do realize that actually it's a bit low. Our idea is that for us, actually acquiring the customer is quite important. While the subscription model might seem affordable, and we actually anticipate that most of our money will be made through the services that they end up paying for and working on.
Okay. Yeah. So you consider it a marketing drive when you actually park the subscription model at this rate itself?
Yes.
Did you actually look into how long we'll be burning?
We're hoping that through working with other creators who already have a platform, we can keep that cost fairly low. I would really like to ask the question, is this something that you think is something you'll potentially be interested to invest in?
High level, we look at three things. The founder, the proposition, what is the problem you're actually trying to solve? And the last thing would be the potential, the ROI. As a founder, I think you have the enthusiasm, you have made your preparations, and that's inspiring, but there are a lot of gaps because it's not in-depth enough. When we look at just a pitch, you're given 3 to 5 minutes. It has to be concise. You quoted numbers wrongly. The competitive landscape is not wide enough. And most importantly, I don't see the numbers adding up. I can't see an addressable market, and you couldn't answer the questions on the burn rate. So that will be of concern for an investment perspective itself. Honestly, I can't answer your question right now because I don't see a return on investment at the point. I do not know how much you're looking for, so I would need some answers to that. On top of it, the competitor analysis is not in parallel, so the returns on investments are very unclear to me.
There's no business model, there's no revenue projections, and similarly, we're not sure how much money you need to burn before you get to that point where you can actually start doing the matching and get to your break-even that you said it will be in a few years' time. So I think that part is not clear to me.
I mean, all entrepreneurs have that kind of dream. It's just that how you will be able to articulate your dreams and at the same time to show that this dream really able to monetize. Let us be clear, all investors are looking for ROI.
It's a myth to raise money before you start a business. Yeah, I think it's important to actually really understand who your first customers are with a demo, and you gain traction. You know that you are actually solving a real pain point that they'll pay you for that $15. Even if you have 10, 20 customers that are paying you $15, I think you'll be a lot more compelling.
Your slides has got too many words. My eyes were trilling to read what you were trying to say. And the irony of it is I actually can spot more mistakes.
Throughout the presentation, you have been saying, okay, you think this, try this. You give people the impression there's a trial and error. What you are going to do, like for example in faces, you're starting with manual. Then how is the AI going to come in the face that we need to see, the progress?
Okay.
So we really can't make any decision with this.
Actually, if you want a direct answer, it's no at this point.
So basically, don't quit my day job. This is what I'm good at, not this. I'm kidding. If I had to take away 3 main things, I would say that, first of all, don't go to investors until you really need them. Make sure you already have an idea, you've already started, you've already tried to make it work on your own, and only go and look for external investment when you're actually ready. The second thing is, when it comes to a pitch, think about what investors want. I made the mistake of selling very much to my user and really didn't consider what would appeal to an investor. And the third thing, and this really is the biggest thing, really think about your numbers, really do your prep. Go and make sure that you've done all your market research. Really go in with real statistics, real numbers. They don't want just, imaginations and fancifuls. Like, they want real, actual evidence. Coming here today and, essentially having the judges shut me down and tell me that I'm not ready, you really have to be prepared for a lot of rejection. For more tips on entrepreneurship and adulting, subscribe to the Head Start newsletter. The link is in the description below.